Welcome to my social media channel. This is Mark Anderson. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the importance of integrity and the impact that it can have on your life. So stay tuned. So as I mentioned, integrity is important in each one of our lives. I like to think of integrity as the credit score that we have in our relationships. When we don't have good credit with other people, we don't have good trust built up between us and others, people aren't going to come to us for advice. They're not going to come to us for business because they simply don't believe that they can trust what we tell them or that we're going to follow through on our promises. Now, think about it for a minute. If you ever go into a business and they promise you something and you get there and they don't deliver, how does that make you feel? Like, let's say you go to a restaurant and you order a particular dish and it takes a long time. And then when you get it, it's very cold and the food isn't that great. And then when you tell them, hey, this food is cold, I want you to take it back and warm it up and redo my dish, they complain to you and say it's all your fault. And they don't give you very good customer service. At the end of that experience, do you think that you're going to come back? Do you think that you're going to recommend that restaurant to your friends? No, you're not, because you got lousy customer service. And so because they promised you something, good food and a good environment, and you got the direct opposite. You got attitude, you got cold food, and you weren't happy with the experience that you had. And you'll probably tell your friends, hey, I wouldn't recommend that you go to that place because here's what happened to me. So in business, it's very, very important that we keep our integrity, that we keep our promises. And that's why I recommend my systems of personal integrity, because I believe it's the little things. When you have integrity in the little things with yourself, integrity begins with yourself. If you can keep your word with yourself, then you tend to be able to keep it with others. But when you tell yourself things, you promise yourself things, and then you don't follow through, you have a tendency not to follow through with other people. So it's very, very important that you have integrity in every area of your life, even the small things, because those are the things that matter. You have to achieve integrity in the smaller areas to achieve what I call smaller victories, in order for you to achieve bigger victories over the long term. And the second point that I want to bring up is that a lack of integrity destroys your reputation and it destroys your finances. When you don't have integrity with others, like I said, they're not going to believe you. And in the example of the restaurant that I mentioned, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen to that restaurant if enough people go on Google or Yelp and start complaining about that place? It's going to hurt their finances. It's going to hurt their business. And once your reputation is damaged because of a lack of integrity, it can be very difficult to rebuild it. So that's why it's important to have integrity with yourself and with others, because once it's damaged, once people don't trust you anymore, it can be very, very difficult to rebuild those bridges. And finally, as I mentioned before, integrity starts with the small things. For example, if you wanted to have devotions with God every morning, you could use my tracker in order to track how many days you do that. If you want to spend quality time with your family, you can use my tracker to track how many days you do that. And what I found is, as you do things consistently over time, it builds your confidence in your ability to keep your word with yourself, and you do, like, you have an entrepreneurial project that you're working on and you work on that consistently, it builds your confidence as an entrepreneur, so that when you do go out into the marketplace and you engage other people, you already have that victory, that personal victory built up within yourself. And then you can share that with others and you can achieve success in the business world. But if you don't have that integrity at home and in your personal life, it's going to show when you try to take a product out into the marketplace. And always remember that integrity is important to God. God always keeps his promises with us, and he wants us to keep our promises with others. In fact, he said, let your yes be yes and your no be no. So we have to be people of our word because it truly matters. Finally, if any of this information has been helpful to you, don't forget to like this video and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, if you haven't picked up a copy of my book, Forgotten Secrets of Passing On Generational Wealth, you can pick up a copy of it on Amazon today. May God bless you. Have a wonderful day.